ChatGPT here. Everybody has, right? It's there in all our phones, all our laptops. So AI has now permeated almost every walk of our, life. A lot of us, today, India is the talent hub for AI, for quantum, or we're seeing it across the world. This is where the talent is sitting. People who know how to use AI will replace people who don't know how to use it. So there are these jobs which are going away where AI is much better. For example, designing. For example, coding. For example, HR. All of these. But there are new jobs coming up.
It is always pleasure to have you at IIT Mandi. Right. So at the outset, I would like to ask how the AI and quantum technology, these are revolutionizing the current day's world and development in the world. So please, can you explain to our audience in a simple manner?
Thank you. So AI has been there for a while now. You all watch cricket, the umpire does this. What does that mean?
Reverse decision.
The umpire is saying, sorry, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
AI was right. The ball comes, hits the legs, and the AI decides whether the ball is going to the stumps or not, right? The umpire already made a decision. And now he says, no, I'm going to change my decision. I'm going to say, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. The player is out. That's one example. And when did this happen? 2008. 2008, DRS came into the picture and AI took over. Chess, 1997. The reigning chess champion Kasparov beaten by Deep Blue. When was Mukesh born? The current world champion? 2006. By the time he was born, chess engines or chess AI engines were much, much better than humans. But did he say, oh, I can't play chess? He went on to become the world champion. So now AI became relegated to something which is aiding you in your decisions, in your health, helping you in how you're, playing cricket, how you're playing chess, all of that. And now, of course, who hasn't used ChatGPT here? Everybody has, right? It's there in all our phones, all our laptops. So AI has now permeated almost every walk of our, life, and it's going to get more and more and more in there. And quantum, as somebody I saw was asking about what is quantum going to do, that's only going to accelerate some of these things. But the question is, what are we going to do with these tools which we have, AI and quantum?
So, as in the present time, we see the AI is developing very, very fast. Every other day, the new programs are coming up. At the same time, we have a lot of development in the quantum computing sides. How the merger of these two is going to bring the changes in the world?
Yeah,
Say quantum machine learning.
that's a very important question. So AI today has a Billy problem. Okay, what is the Billy problem? When you were a child, how many cats, how many Billies did you have to see before you recognized Billy? 1, 2, max. Then the third Billy came, you said, Mama, Billy. How many Billies does AI need to see? Thousands. Kali Billy, white Billy, Billy from this angle, occluded Billy, all sorts of Billies before it decides that this is Billy. And why is that a problem? Today you have lots of LLMs. ChatGPT is one LLM. In my office we have HR GPT, marketing GPT, all sorts of GPTs. Every time one GPT comes up on this side, what comes up on this side? a power station because of the Billy problem. Because we don't represent the data and we don't inference on it in the most efficient way we can, which is what our brains do, right? Our brains, 1 billion, 2 billion, enough. But AI today needs lots of billies, which means every time one AI comes up, one power station comes up to support that AI. And that's where all of you young people come in, right? That convergence and quantum hopefully is bringing us closer to solving this Billy problem. Represent the data in a way that you can infer on it much, much better, much more efficiently. Of course, AI is also improving by itself. You know, you just saw DeepSeek, fewer GPUs, lesser time, lesser data to train the same models, which means that, you know, AI has a lot of scope to improve, and quantum is getting into that mix to help AI, you know, speed up that faster so that you don't need more and more power stations. Because we need AI, that part is here. We need it in cricket, you need it in your earphones for all that noise cancellation, you need it in chat GPT, everywhere. It's coming. Our washing machines have AI now. But at the same time, you don't want AI to be a power guzzler. So you want to improve your AI models, make them better. And that's where quantum comes in. Quantum says that, okay, maybe I'm going to help you represent that data and make it more efficient.
Yes, yes, very well said, sir. So recently there was one startup from China on the DeepSeek. So could you please explain it to our audience in a easier manner, simple manner, and how this is impacting the other AI models in the world? Because like we see the chat GPT and all other models, they are all very much scared of DeepSeek. So how it is better than the other?
Yeah. So see, we all use chat GPT, and you know, you run a query. For every query, it does a lot of processing, and we know that chat GPT required several GPUs to train, lot of training hours, and then every inference also takes lot of effort there, lot of GPUs, and the cost was close to 100 million to just train that one model, right? Then DeepSeek comes along and says, oh, I don't need all that. I don't need so many GPUs. I don't need so much training time and all of that. And they came in with a reinforcement model from the beginning. Okay, of course, ChatGPT also, OpenAI also uses reinforcement learning, but it brings it in much later, okay, in the pipeline. But DeepSeek said, I'm going to use reinforcement learning right from the beginning to train my models. Okay. And now what it shows that, you needed much fewer GPUs, you needed much lesser money, 20 times, 30 times lesser money to do the same job. So it is now about the efficiency. You know, how can you make AI more efficient? The Billy problem, basically. You know, it's all about how do you train your models much more efficiently with lesser data, do the inferencing also much more efficiently in a shorter period of time, using lesser resources, which is GPUs basically. So that's where the technology is. But also, India, do we have an LLM so far? No, we don't have. Why is it so hard? It's not hard. Who's going to do it? You are. So we need to set these goals for ourselves, saying that if you set the goal, you'll achieve it. Nobody is going to stop you. But you better set that goal first for yourself, right? You need to set that goal for you to reach there. So a lot of us, today, India is the talent hub for AI, for quantum, or we're seeing it across the world. This is where the talent is sitting. But we're not aiming high enough. That's what we need to do.
Okay. So as we see these days, the quantum computer, there is coming up different quantum computers. and they will be useful for solving some specific problems. They may not be of general use, but the way the AI is penetrating into our normal life, it is going to be enormous. So I would like to ask what sort of the different jobs will be taken away by the AI, and some new jobs would be created. So what are those different avenues?
Yeah. So, like I said, HR GPT. What did it do? It replaced HR people. Marketing GPT. What did it do? Replaced marketing people. You would have heard about job slowdown in India where the tech companies, which used to hire thousands, are not hiring that many anymore. Okay. Why is that? Because in the office, now the job that I used to do, sit and do for 2 weeks, coding job that I used to do, I don't need 2 weeks anymore because there are coding assistants that do it for me. So I can now elevate myself. I go next level, become an architect. But I need to be ready to do that. So there's a poster in my office which says, people who know how to use AI will replace people who don't know how to use AI. Very simple. It's a tool. It's like, you want to go to Mandi. You can walk or you can take car. Up to you. Of course, you can choose to walk. That's fine. But on many days, you will say, I need to reach there early. I'm going to take a car. The same thing with AI. It's a tool. Remember cricket? Remember uh, chess? Nobody is sulking that, oh, AI is much better than me. What should I do now in chess? No, doesn't work like that. It's a tool. Better use it to improve yourself. So there are these jobs which are going away where AI is much better. For example, designing. For example, coding. For example, HR. All of these. But there are new jobs coming up. A lot of jobs require you to solve domain problems. What were the two Nobel Prizes last year, 2024? Nobel Prize in Physics for AI. Nobel Prize in Chemistry also for AI. Two prizes for AI. And now the physics guys and chemistry guys are saying, what the heck? Why is AI coming and taking my prizes away? Okay. So AI is there. It's going to be a tool. You become a domain expert, whether it is in physics, whether it is in chemistry, whether it is in cricket, whether it is in chess. You're the expert. And they're a tool for you, which will make you better, make you much, much more efficient. Leave you more time to go play with your children or your wife or whatever. So all those talks about 90-hour weeks, if you use AI efficiently, you don't need those 90 hours.
Yes. So as these two things are very big and they will be change our world in the coming time. So what are the different initiative Indian institutes are taking in the direction of the research and development in this area in artificial intelligence and also in the quantum computing side?
Yeah.
Where are they standing?
Yeah. Actually, India has these national missions. Okay.
Yes.
So there's a national mission on quantum. There's a national mission on semiconductors. There's a national mission on AI. And what is the goal here? It is to enable young people like you who are so talented, the best in the world, to build technologies for India. Okay. So from long time, for decades, father of Pentium, Vinod Dham, father of fiber optics, Kapani, all Indians. India has been the talent hub for several decades now. But we haven't used that talent for our good. Okay. We haven't done that yet. This is the time, all these national missions in quantum, national mission in AI, all of that is to enable young people like you, give you startup funding, give you, as a research support, research grants, all of that to aim big and to make India a developed country through use of technology. Because in the current times, the country that takes control of technology is able to drive technology for its good, for the good of its citizens, is the one that does well, has the leadership, economic leadership across Earth. And that's what we want to do. We want to use technology. And here, this is one of our big institutions. Government invests a lot in here. You're the best in the world. JEE exam, toughest in the world, anywhere in the world. Okay. And so you're the cream of the cream. And this is where the government is saying through all these initiatives, and also, of course, the private companies. Now we have a lot of private companies which are world class, in IT, in infrastructure, in ports, in petroleum, all of these, big companies. And it's time all of them came together, supported the young people to solve problems for India.
So as you talked about that, industries has to come into the play to
Yeah.
take the technology forward. So what are the different industries they are in Indian industry, they are looking for it? And another question would be that how our young graduates, what different sort of skill they need to venture into this field?
Yeah. So today, I see many people, for example, Wikipedia, all the open source out there, Wikipedia. We all use Wikipedia. But how many people go and write something in Wikipedia? It's an open that encyclopedia. Your knowledge can be sitting in there. But less than 1% people go and say that I have something to contribute. There is a page for IIT Mandi on Wikipedia. Okay. I'm sure you know more about IIT Mandi than anybody else in this world. Okay. I'm sure you can go and write 2 paragraphs there or 2 sentences there. Similarly, there are many open source, tools, for AI, for quantum. Quantum Qiskit is an open source software development kit. In all of this is where you need to now become experts at some of these domain technologies. Generalists, no, we don't want them. We want people who are focused and experts at something, the T-shaped people. You're broad, but you're deep in something. So you better become deep in something. And then once you come to the job market, people just love you. They want to have you. So as young people, build things. Don't just take knowledge and store it here. You have to take that knowledge and build things. Write on Wikipedia, create open source code, create solutions for your campus, create some apps which will help others. That will take you on an entrepreneurial journey. It will prepare you well for the job market. And today, people don't look at your resumes. I can promise you that. We get 70, 80,000 resumes. Who looks at the resumes? AI. I have an AI which tells me, oh, these 5 resumes out of the 70,000 resumes look good. Look at them. Okay, that's how it works. So you better find a way to stand out. You better be building things using that knowledge that you are learning in this 4 years and beyond that also. Many of you might be PhD and things, right?
So thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Subramaniam.